Hey guys, in this video I will be making a tier list ranking all bosses available in Soul Knight. Keep in mind, this is my opinion, so if you feel like a boss should not be in that tier, you can comment down below. I have 3 tiers that would best fit these bosses: hard, moderate, and easy. Hard being the boss gives you the most difficult time in your life, easy being you can kill the boss with your eyes closed. Moderate would be bosses that are not easy, but also not hard. First up we have the Forest. In the forest we have 4 bosses: Goblin Priest, Christmas Trent, Easter Bunny, and Devil Snare. I'm gonna be honest, I had a really easy time beating these guys. The Goblin Priest's meteor showers are pretty predictable and can easily be dodged. Christmas Trent is just so slow. Easter Bunny just doesn't do damage. And Devil Snare is immobile, so you can just sit back and shoot it. For that, I'm gonna have to put all of the forest bosses in easy. Next up, we have the Glacier biome. In the Glacier biome, we also have 4 more bosses: King Snow Ape, Giant Crystal Crab, Snowman King, and Giant Golden Crab. I'm gonna have to put both Giant Crabs in moderate because they both have a good offense and defense. Offense coming from their crystals that come out of the ground, and their defense coming from healing. It's pretty cool to see these 2 bosses have healing because other bosses just have all-out offense and no defense. Continuing in this biome, we also have the Snowman King and the King Snow Ape. The unique ability for these 2 bosses are that they can create ice cracks on the ground, but that still doesn't make up for how easy they are to take down. And for that, I'm gonna have to put them both in easy. Up next, we have the Relics biome, including the Gold Mask and Prehistoric Colossus. Gold Mask is one of the 2 bosses that can apply the Weary debuff. Weary is a debuff that slows how many times you can attack. Gold Mask also has a lot of zoning abilities in his kit that lead to you being cornered and dying. For all those reasons, I'm gonna put Gold Mask in hard. As for the Prehistoric Colossus, it too has a lot of zoning abilities, like its meteor showers and green zones on the ground. But those zoning tools are way too slow for them to be effective, and for that I'll put it in easy. Next up we have the Night Kingdom biome, which includes the Grand Knight, Dark Grand Knight, Grand Wizard, and Grand Slime. For the Grand Slime, there's nothing too special about it. It can spawn slimes, but many other bosses can also do that. Overall, it's just a weak boss because it doesn't have any skills that can really be put on you. For that, it's going to be placed in easy. Next up in the Night Kingdom is the Grand Wizard.
Bruh.
Up next, we have the Grand Knights. They can both shoot bullets out of their sword. Cool. But we can all definitely agree that the Dark Grand Knight is a much bigger step up than the Grand Knight. I mean, it even looks cooler. But let's talk facts here. I honestly had a more difficult time fighting the Dark Grand Knight than the normal Grand Knight. And for that, I'll put the Dark Grand Knight in moderate and the normal Grand Knight in easy. Going into our next biome is the Dungeon biome, which includes 2 bosses, the Skeleton King and C6H806. For the Skeleton King, he didn't even give me a hard time. I literally went into airplane mode fighting this guy, and I still beat him. For that, he'll be in easy. Now for this guy, it's a different story, because every few seconds, he would either laser me or drop bombs at me. He'll be in hard for that. Moving forward, we have the Halloween biome, which includes the Headless Knight and Phantom King. The Headless Knight is the only boss that can separate into 2 parts of the bodies. The only scary thing about this boss is when the horse starts charging at you and you can't do anything to stop it. But other than that, it's a pretty easy boss to beat, so it'd be reasonable for me to put him in moderate. Okay, so guys, I don't know what happened with that horse. It's supposed to go really fast charging at you, but I guess this one just didn't. Anyways, back to the video. I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. All of these bosses that are gonna come up next are all going to be in hard. Because all of these next bosses are gonna be hard, I'm going to go more in depth to show you guys why they are hard and how they are hard. The first boss on the hard boss list is gonna be the Phantom King. Now, the Phantom King There's two reasons why I think it's hard. One, it becomes invisible, duh. And two, it gives you very little time and openings to shoot it. The battle plan of the Phantom King is basically hit and run. It would shoot and then go invisible, leaving you very little room to shoot it. The Phantom King never stays open for, let's say, more than 5 seconds. So you have a very small window of under 5 seconds to actually do damage. And it's not just once, he does it multiple times. So that's why I think it's a hard boss, because of its invisibility and its tactics. Next up is going to be the floating laser UFO. Now again, I have another 2 reasons why I think this boss is hard. Number 1 is gonna have to be the clones that shoot lasers, and number 2 is him aggressively attacking every time. He doesn't stop. Alright, first is clones. Pretty self-explanatory. It creates clones that will zone you and shoot at you, which will make it harder for you to dodge his other bullets that are gonna come flying. And for attacking aggressively, he can either charge, shoot frequently, and never stop. The only bad side to this boss is that it has low amounts of health. Up next is Zulan the Colossus. And there's one reason why I think this boss is hard. It spams lasers. That's pretty much all to his kit. I mean, there's nothing else to say. He has laser here, laser there, laser everywhere. The only hope of surviving from this guy is to hide. And once he stops shooting his lasers, you can go in and kill him. Next up, we have the Varkland Leader. Now there's 3 reasons why I think the Varkland Leader is hard. Number 1, it spawns tentacles that spawn poison pools when they die. Number 2, it shoots out pools of poison in a straight line. And number 3, the most important one, it can go invisible, meaning you can't do damage when it goes in the poison pools. So all of the 3 reasons work hand in hand together to make him a hard boss. How this is hard? It's probably because whenever you're shooting at it, it can just go invulnerable and it makes you lose your mana. Next up, we have the Volcanic Sandworm. One of the unique abilities of this boss is that it can bury underground for a few seconds, becoming invulnerable, and can move while burrowed. The Volcanic Worm also shoots whenever it burrows or is coming out. And again, this is leaving you with little room to attack, because it can just attack and then run, and then attack and then run. You get it. Up next, we have the Twin Dragon Bros. Now, this boss is split into 2 dragons. So it's gonna be hard for you to focus one, since this boss alternates attacks between each other. The only downside to that is that they are weak once you kill one of them, which is hard. But if you can do that, you can basically win the whole fight, because the true power comes from them being together. Finally, we have Anubis. And Anubis, which was the most difficult boss for me. And let me tell you the reasons why. Anubis has so much zoning tools. Now, I have a whole list that I'm about to tell you. Anubis can spawn turrets that shoot lasers, basically a mini Zulan. Anubis can spawn tombstones that can either spawn bombers or healers. Anubis spawns large stones that fall from the sky and spawns a pool that inflicts the Weary debuff. And this is the most important one. He spawns a turret that shoots squiggly bullets. No. Not just one. 10 of them! You see this? What is this? Alright, enough jokes aside. Anubis was honestly a hard boss. I feel like there wasn't much for me to do. Okay guys, this is the end. Here's the tier list. I will link the tier list maker in the description so you guys can make your own. Type down below in the comment section if you agree or disagree with my tier list. I will 100% respond to them all. If you guys want to give me any video ideas that you want me to make, just comment down below and I will consider it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.